Well, folks, it is time that you buckle up because we are talking about Dr. Stephen Greer. This is either like part 6 or 7. We have been doing this entire playlist and series on the channel, and it has been very interesting so far. This time he's talking about, did aliens help build the Pyramids of Giza? Like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're brand new. You guys have been absolutely killing it. Appreciate all the love, and I've linked you the entire playlist in the comment as well that you can check out afterwards. Okay, roll it.
The Pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge in the UK, Machu Picchu in Peru. Is there any proof at all that these weren't simply man-made with, you know, just some smart...
Machu Picchu is like one of the mountains that I recently found out. My friend told me in real life, he told me that he want to climb that this summer.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Holy crap. So that's also like part of the conversation. I didn't know that.
Mathematicians behind them. I personally don't see anything alien-like when I go to the Pyramids of Giza. You yourself, do you see any sort of connection between those two things?
Well, honestly, I don't necessarily think that there were ETs that made them. I think there could have been some extraordinary technologies that were used. For example, there is a record of technologies that existed on Earth, of civilization more advanced than we are now. And the question is, were there some use of some type of electrogravitic levitation technologies that were used? The other problem is, even when the Smithsonian paid $5 million to simulate using mathematics and the technology that archaeologists say existed back in the time of the pyramids, those obelisks, like the Washington Monument, but those were all one big piece of stone, they couldn't raise the smallest one.
Damn.
With everything we know now.
Okay, I was not expecting this type of answer from Dr. Stephen Greer, but it's amazing to hear that. But like, what technology? How did they acquire that technology though? Like whatever it was.
About mathematics and engineering with what's been postulated. So there's something doesn't add up there. But I think it's a bridge too far to claim they were built by ETs. But they were certainly, their construction and the precision of the stones cut, how far they were moved, how they were put into place. There are a lot of questions I have, but I have no proof of how that might have happened, except the man I referred to earlier from Redstone Arsenal area, who is given material occasionally.
My bad.
It's not always extraterrestrial. He has been given objects that are tens of thousands of years old or older, that are technological, that have been found in the ocean and elsewhere, that were of human origin and were extremely advanced technologies. So I believe that it's likely that on Earth, prior to the modern era, there have been civilizations far advanced beyond where we are.
Damn.
For which we have very little record.
You guys ever heard of that saying or that thing? I'm not sure what exactly is that thing, but it's like whenever the civilization gets closer to being advanced, they always gets wiped out, and they're saying, and there's also another thing like to midnight, right? The end of the world to midnight. We're like what, 2 minutes, or not even 2 minutes, like a minute and 30 seconds away from midnight. And whenever the clock hits midnight, that's like the doomsday clock. But there's another thing. It's like whenever a civilization reaches mass innovation, it's always gets wiped out, and we're not the first one here. Someone was here before us too. And when I say someone, it's like it was humans, but it's but they probably looked a bit different though. Are those the aliens? Were they were they the ones that actually migrate to different planets when some happened on this planet and they got wiped out? I'm not sure. I mean, that's food for thought, right?
And when that record is found, I think it's kind of swept under the carpet. You know, it's interesting. There were years ago when they did the Mars images, and they found that there were these obelisks and strange-looking objects on Mars. I went out to the Goddard Space Flight Center here outside D.C. to meet with Mark Carlotta and some other scientists there, and they said, "Yep, it's been pixelated out for the public, but there are structures there." And they were very ancient, but we're talking millions of years old, millions.
And it's crazy, right? Because Mars, based on what they are telling us, it's like and based on like conspiracy theories and the official information. I know official, like most of you probably don't want to believe the official news. It's like you're told to believe that, right? That I'm gonna leave it at that. But if what we know, if that's true, it's like there probably was life at one point on Mars. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy to think. And there have been like some structures that were found. I believe they saw like some just an anomaly, like a shape that wasn't unnatural, a shape of an object that was caught in pictures of the ones that NASA provided. There was an object there that was unnatural. It's as though like it was put there by somebody, you know what I mean, that was living there or might have landed there. There's so many conspiracies, and obviously there's another one of those conspiracies that like the moon images. First of all, we never went to the moon. A lot of people believe that, right? We never went to the moon. But it's like the other thing here is that like the pictures that you see from NASA, most of them has been photoshopped. Most of them, like the objects have been hidden, like they airbrushed the crap out of everything too. So do you want to believe the images? Do you not want to believe the images? And whenever you have one of those images where you think you see something like an object, UFO maybe, perhaps an anomalous object or some weird, right? It's like people always believe that they just forgot to Photoshop and now you're able to see it. There's so many conspiracy theories. I love it, but it's like, can a brother get to know some truth as well?
And I was out in California after I had disclosed this to some people, and a man came up to me from JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, and I didn't know him. He knew who I was and said, Dr. Greer, here's the issue. You're right, those exist, but we can't disclose that. I said, why? It's not an operational ET device. It's not, it's old. He says, yes, but you don't understand how powerful this information is. I said, why?
Damn.
He says, if this was disclosed, it would collapse the fundamentalist orthodox belief systems of every religion on earth. I said, what? This science and this evidence is being kept secret for religious reasons? He says, yes. Because the creation myths, now I'm not talking about most people, but those sort of fundamentalist orthodox belief systems, they'd all crumble. They'd be completely gone. And you would have to come up with something a little more rational, right? Than the world is 6,000 years old. And we, used to ride dinosaurs.
Right now, there's a story going around. You just have to picture it and take it as like rumors only, okay? But there's a story going around. There was like a small, like, alien type creature that was discovered, and this is an official story. So they actually took that small piece of alien like body, very, very small, very, very, I'm talking like a couple of inches, right? Let me actually do this. The couple of inches, right? So they tried to get down to the source of the DNA, and I believe they came out and they said that, yeah, it's not alien. However, today I saw a report, maybe I'll make a video on it. I saw a report, take it as rumors first of all. I saw a report that says that this thing was actually created by an alien. Oh shit! So I'm seeing those headlines right now. It could have been created by an alien. It's not, but the creature that they discovered, the small ass creature, it's not an alien. That's what they said. No alien DNA found. But right now they're saying that it could have been made by an alien. And obviously, how many times you heard conspiracy theories that, God did not create us? It's like the aliens that created us. It's like, holy crap, though. Yeah, you cannot handle the truth. You cannot handle the truth. There's so many conspiracy theories like that. I mean, holy crap, like nobody knows the truth. It's like, nobody knows the truth anymore, right?
Like horses. If you go to the Creation Museum in Kentucky. So, this is true, by the way. Those of you in urban areas, you need to kind of wake up a bit about the rest of the world. But that's just how it is. So what I tell people is that some of this evidence has been kept secret, not for scientific reasons, but for social belief and how much that information would disrupt most people's foundations of their paradigm and belief.
Well, I mean, back in the day, thousands of years ago, this was true. I mean, when ancient, scientists said that the earth was round, they were put in jail and they were, executed.
Yep.
Saying that the Earth was not the center of the universe was heresy.
Yep.
In fact, for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, people thought that the sun and the moons rotated around the Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when basic astronomy showed that wasn't true, they said, oh, well, there's little semicircles that they were doing around the Earth to try to somehow justify it. And then that didn't work until finally someone said, okay, the only plausible explanation is that the sun is the center of this universe and all the planets rotate around it and all those pieces fit together. But in 2023, science is out there and so forth. So religion is not running the world the way it did.
Doctor want to talk, but it's like Vlad is talking right now a lot here. So the doctor cannot seem to talk right now, man. Let the doctor talk, brother.
2,000-3,000 years ago, even 1,000 years ago.
But that's not
so
the
why would people get the feathers ruffled over this?
Because there are still huge numbers of people in our country and around the world who are not rational and scientific.
Bruh.
They're really based on their these belief systems, which would be upended. And this guy was very blunt about it, and I think he's quite correct. For example, we might find out that the origins of Homo sapiens altogether isn't what we think, either Darwinian or other. So there are all kinds of implications to this issue. This is one of the things when I was out at Lawrence Rockefeller's ranch back when we were setting up things for the Clinton administration back in September of '93 out in the Tetons. And he took me out at night on the deck and he said, look, he said, Dr. Greer, no aspect of life on Earth will be unaffected by this being disclosed. So vast and so large are the implications. I said, yes, Lawrence, that's why it's been kept so secret. Damn. So now we're touching on another whole area of concern, and that is, now I don't think most rational religious and spiritual people would have a problem with the fact.
I can only speak for myself. I'm Muslim, right? So in Quran, it's been hinted that we're not the only ones. Like humans, us humans, we hold a high rank in God's creation, but not the highest rank. And the Quran also talks about like God has created other creatures. Some of them, if God wants us to meet, it can happen. But there are a lot of creatures He created that we will never ever see with our eyes, that we will never meet. What does that mean? Nobody really knows. We can all speculate that like creatures, that does not mean just aliens. It can mean like, life. They always find new life in the ocean. You feel what I'm saying? Like they always find like new fish, new species of fish so deep underwater. They constantly are finding new creatures, it could be like creatures, could mean like bees, new like flies. Like it could be anything, and surely it could mean aliens as well. And the Quran has hinted that that us humans hold a higher rank, but not the highest. So as a Muslim, I do believe it. But what about you? Definitely share your beliefs as well in comments.
They don't think the world's 6,000 years old, and there's no reason for them to think that a supreme being would leave all his hopes for intelligent life just in humans. God help us, right? So, but there are a large number of people, and in around the world, a significant number of people.
But I do agree that it's gonna change our reality for sure. But is this the only reason though? Guys, click on this video on the screen. You're gonna absolutely love this one. We had like a different conspiracy talk with Dr. Stephen Greer. This was the last episode. Check it out. On the left though, this was a different conspiracy. I'm not sure what YouTube's gonna show you. That's like YouTube AI recommendation on the left. But check it out and I'll see you right there.